Welcome to CATtheMinion Patreon. This is going to be October Capricorn tarot reading here. So this is for anyone who has Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you've been affected by the movements of Saturn, will have gone from retrograde to direct right before the beginning of October, and Saturn in Capricorn. I don't think it's going to move into Aquarius until later in the year, but I'm not sure. But also Jupiter in Capricorn. So if you're feeling those, then, or just called to it, this would be the reading for you. So the reading that I'm doing this month is called Roadblock Moguls. It's a $37 reading, but I'm using charms with it, so that makes it a $44 reading. And you can see that in the list of other readings that I have in the description box of my infomercial video, which I'm going to link in the little comment below this. My voice is sounding kind of rough right now. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but probably because I was talking a lot yesterday. Okay, yeah. So I did clear and shuffle these decks. I've got the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck here. It's like a handy book. So the way that this reading works is that I have 4 columns. One column is Wands energy, sort of prime directive, gut force, core being, soul mission type of energy. The next column is, I think, no, I'm not convinced. The next column is Cups, which is emotional content or psychic intuitions. And the third column is Swords energy, which deals with thoughts and perceptions and communication. And the fourth column is Pentacles energy. Which has to do with manifestation. It could be what's going on with your physical body. It could be resources. It could be money. Those kinds of things. Alright. So, and then there's 3 rows as well. So this first row that I just laid out over here is the 5D squared. So it's like your higher self within the soul group, like quorum, like a committee. But it's kind of like a classroom where everybody's doing a project based on a same theme, but you're doing different aspects of it, right? Like could be like a group project, or like everybody's giving a presentation on a certain subject. Wow, these are all in the challenge position there. But you know, you all have your individual part. The second row that I'm working on is the regular 5D. That's your individual higher self. This is where the moguls are. That's why there's a little cascade of 3 cards. And it's the bridge between this sort of group plan and your individual 3D self. It's sort of where the message can become garbled. It's, you know, now that you've got your assignment, you're trying to figure out how to do it, and it's it's like, well, what am I doing exactly? So this is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. And for the 3D world, I'm using this Radley Valentine Angel deck. This is how you're perceiving this energy in your day-to-day reality. Now, I did Sagittarius reading from my point of view last night, which was pretty intense reading. I have Sagittarius stellium. So I actually have a lot of fire energy, and I'm really feeling it. And I'm sun sign Capricorn, but I also have a Capricorn stellium, so this reading's probably going to kick my ass. Especially with this emotions and challenge. It's a double there. That was a challenge position. Now I also have a wrap-up card that's an oracle card, and for that I'm using this Lucy Cavendish Blessed Bee deck. So I'm gonna get that. Interesting, I saw what that was. Is this, okay, this might not, I'm gonna pretend like it's mostly all gonna fit on my table, because I feel like having it this direction and not the other way. So I'm just gonna deal with it. It worked better when I was using smaller cards. Alright, you can kind of see all of those. I'm gonna check the focus in a second. So I'm gonna spread the charms out before I do the cards. See, I try to mix these up a lot, but I'm seeing a lot of the same charms as I saw yesterday. And I'm not surprised what with Capricorn and Jupiter, or I mean Saturn and Jupiter up each other's asses. More? God damn it. Okay. So apparently the goose wants to come out. It really wants to come out. He almost broke his neck. I'll put it back in the box. I'm going to shake these up a little bit. I feel like I'm not done yet. I get the idea that there's something to do with like a big honking skeleton in the closet. Holy crap. Why? Why? Why is there so many? It's like half of them. Still not done. Okay. That whale's not supposed to be there. Oh, it is though. No, just kidding. It's not supposed to be there. Okay. Holy charms, Batman. Alright. Sort of pants. You can see all of these over here. Oh, man. This reading's going to take forever. Alright. Check my focus. Okay. So I'm going to look at 10 minutes. Okay. And to move the charms so that they're all in the right card stack before I get into this, because I don't want to have a preconceived notion of what I'm trying to say here. This goes here, this goes here. Might be because I was listening to it, but I've got Dusty Springfield, son of a preacher man, going around in my head with a vengeance right now. It's kind of aggravating me. There's so many charms. It's ridiculous. Thumbnails where this t-shirt needs to go over here. Alright, I think I've got everybody sorted out here. Alright, so I'm gonna read the Wands column first after I get a sip of water. Headache today. I had started talking and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So the card in here for this higher self committee of the directive, it's the heart of the sky inverted, and I have the skull going backwards. So to me, this is sort of like possibly resisting transformation. Now this Heart of the Sky card, I see 2 and I see 4. I see the High Priestess, I see the Emperor, but I also see 6, which is the Lovers, which is a choice or healing. And I'm not sure what this card is exactly, so I'm going to have to read it out of the book, because I haven't gotten it that many times. But I see a moon here, and when the moon is inverted, it tells me sun energy. And I see this planet here, and I thought maybe it was Earth at first, but then I heard in my head Venus. And Venus used to be a green comet. So I see, with this inverted, I see Venus in Leo, which is where she hit. So I'm going to skim the book here to get some more information. I'm so mad that I didn't have that recording. I swore that I had it. Oh, it's just that I'm tired. So the heart of the sky is the love force that made all creation possible. It's present when you create with originality, when you bring formlessness to form or inspired ideas to expression. This primeval force does not know good or bad. It's up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. The heart of the sky helps us call in the beauty from the invisible world and birth it into the world of matter. Okay, so I see here, come on, with this skull here, possibly representing death, that with it going sort of inverted, it could be birth as well. We see birth, the world of matter here. But with this idea of bringing formlessness to form, with it inverted, it sort of gives me this idea of suctioning into a void. Not to a void, but to a singular void. So with it inverted like this, it says, you may feel responsible for everything and everyone. Perhaps you think you have to do it all alone. This takes you into a dark hole, that would be the void, where you lose trust in the natural order of the cosmos. Shed your lofty sense of duty, especially Capricorn, and recognize that this is a false prison of your own making. You can open the door and set yourself free in an instant. So that gives me 2 times 4, which is 8, and gives me this 8 of Swords energy of I need to get out of my own skull. I need to get out of my own head and stop thinking it over and realize that I don't have to be stuck in this constant, I have to do stuff like, I have to do it. I've got to go Saturn, Grindstone, Capricorn. I have to do everything myself or it's not going to be safe or correct. It's like you need to get out of that and go back to this blank slate energy and think, okay, if you could do anything you want, if you could create anything you want, what would you manifest just for you? And that is the essence of going into your own core energy. It's like if you're going to be industrious and manifest, then do it from a place of core resonance, not because you feel like you have to take care of every little odd and end and scrap that comes across your life. Which might also be why there's so many charms here. Okay. Oh, and I'm not doing this part yet. The way that this instruction is coming down in the 3D world. The Emperor inverted, right? So I had 4 and 2, and now it's just 4. So I'm only getting half the message. Archangel Michael says organization and logic, structure and discipline and leadership, right? So I'm getting the idea that I don't have to be... Alright, this is my directive. I don't have to be the leader of everything all the time, right? That part's getting down into the 3D, but some of the message is still missing. Aries currently retrograde. No, Mars currently retrograde in Aries as well, so this is... should still be in October, so that's where that is coming in too, but it's definitely picking up this energy. This is giving me more Saturn retrograde, even though the number there is a 6 or an 8. Although Saturn does have a hexagon on it, so it could be related to 6. So the Emperor, I have the glove. This is sort of... it gives me this idea of like royalty in this Baroque period where people would be fancy and have gloves on, but now it's like, no, the gloves are off now. But I also have an owl, so it's kind of like I have a glove so that I can have my owl land on my hand. But there's wisdom coming to light to land on me that has to do with my life purpose over long periods of time. And then I have the cello here, which came up in Sagittarius reading as this sort of crescendo of energy. But here I almost get it as this sort of like changing my tune. Like I'm getting more of, instead of A Day in the Life by the Beatles, I'm getting more of their cover of Roll Over Beethoven. Like there's a shift in the way there's a shift in the resonance pattern based on like connecting to a new information source. And I'm getting a download for this over here already. There's a shoe over here. Well, let's see what the information is that's missing. Play it with a brand new beat. Oh, you know what? It's a little bit more of rock and roll music than Roll Over Beethoven. Alright. So this is 18 in the Dreams of Gaia. It's called Thought, which is where the moon would normally be. So I saw a moon inverted here, 6, and now I see 18, where the moon should be also inverted, which is giving me solar energy again. Do I see this, the idea, like, the difference between day and night, but I also see this pentacle here, which is giving me that Capricorn energy as well. It could be 9 of Pentacles inverted. It's sort of like I don't feel safe on my own, or this idea of I'm on my own, but I don't feel good about it. I have 10 here, so that's 19. No, wait, not 19. 18 breaks down to 9 plus 10 is 19. But this is also inverted. 10 of air. This is usually the swords in the back, but I get a little bit of a different... This is like going through a portal. And it's giving me this death and rebirth idea again. So I might come back to that. And a 7 of air. This is usually sort of a deceptive kind of energy. But here it's like I'm getting this idea of take another look. Take a look inside a book or reading rainbow. And this is kind of a dilute rainbow. Right? I need to change the way I'm thinking about something, right? In order to change my backbeat, I need to have a shift in perspective. So I have one that says thought, and then the other 2 are swords. 17 swords, and then 18. So like the difference there is really the truth. But let me see the energies. I mean, the moon should be ruled by Pisces. November is retrograde right now. I mean, not November. Neptune is retrograde right now. Until November. 10 of swords. The sun in Gemini, but it's inverted, which is giving me moon. So I have a little bit of sun energy, and then I have the moon. And they're both sort of inverted. So it does tell me that there's this idea of night and day, or an eclipse. Now there's... I don't know when the eclipses are happening in October, but there's a new moon on September 17th, which might be causing this shift that's going to happen for Capricorn in October. Like, it might still extend into that time period. The 7 of Swords is the moon in Aquarius. So now we have an upright moon card. So there's this constant shift between the day and the night, the light and the dark. And this idea of which shoe am I wearing? But the idea that the oscillation between light and dark is what causes the wave pattern, which creates the idea of the rhythm and blues. Alright, so let me see these charms. I have the nervous system here. Alright, system overload, trying to do all the work for everybody all the time. And then the tree here, which is giving me like a physical manifestation of this same concept of the nervous system, right? The roots of the problem, the anxiety, the agitation. Now going the other way, I have no, the star, which I did mention that I have 17 swords. That's the star energy. It's Aquarius as well. I have the sunglasses. And I have the leaf. So not only do I have the tree, but I have the leaf as well. And this idea of turning over a new leaf. And I get this idea of not looking a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to do something for me instead of burning myself out trying to grow things for everybody else, right? I'm taking off my gardening gloves and I'm going to get into my own pattern. Alright, so I'm going to look at the emotional content. I'm going to check my focus again here. I think that looks alright. Now, what's interesting is that a lot of this emotional stuff's coming in the challenge position. So let's see what's coming down from this group level higher thing here. 11, the council. Alright, so 11 is a divine timing number. It's also like a twin flame or duality number, depending on where you're at. I see this new moon energy here, like I had mentioned, that's happening September 17th. I'm not sure when the new moon is happening in October because I haven't flipped my calendar yet, but I really feel like this energy that's happening in mid-September has a dramatic effect on what's going on with Capricorn in September. Because not only do you have this new moon energy, but also the same week, Jupiter direct in Capricorn in the middle of September. So it's sort of like it takes a couple weeks for the energy to reach boiling point, and then it sort of blows Capricorn open. Like, why are you carrying all these rocks for other people? But this is, the council is this idea that you have access to, which is interesting because it's coming in the place where the council is. It's like you can feel them. You have this, like, you can feel these beings up in the higher level, and you do have access to them, to the message, but there's the blockage is challenging. Like, I'm having a hard time picking up what you're laying down. But there's this idea of universal timing. No, it's time to work hard on getting in touch with your own energy, which we see as coming down in the directive. Now, I have these holly berries here, and to me it's sort of representative of Christmas, but basically that's when the sun goes into Capricorn. So it might be sort of challenging to get in touch with your people up there in the higher realms until the sun fully illuminates the sign of Capricorn. But it's not to say that you can't get messages. It might just be difficult. But we also have the flashlight here, which is illumination. Right? So it's still a light in the dark, but it's only highlighting a little bit. It's not like full daylight, right? We're still in the dark a little bit. Now, going the other way, I have the eyeball and the dolphin. So this is like third eye sonar kind of energy. I'm having a hard time picking up the signal. I can't quite see, which is what I just said. So this is coming in the emotions and psychic waters kind of plane, right? It's like I can pick up some of what you're laying down, but I'm having a hard time tuning it all the way up to 11. Holy balls, there's a lot of stuff on here. I see it's probably going to be... Yeah, I see the calendar too. Alright. So, how it's coming in the 3D. Justice, 8, which in some decks is 11, so I see this dichotomy. Sometimes it's strength, Leo, the sun, but right now it's inverted, which tells me the moon. But justice is usually Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Leo. But here we have some, like, it's not fair, it's an injustice. It says, Archangel Raguel, fair and just decisions, do what you know is right, stand up for your beliefs. So it's like right now I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to feel about stuff. And then we have the 10 of Earth. So not only do I have this potential sun energy inverted telling me the moon, but I have 18, which tells me the moon as well. And also the charm that came out on here is the moon. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life, which is interesting because everything else is really challenging. But here it's like I'm going to manifest like a mofo. 10 of Pentacles. Mercury in Virgo. Alright. Mercury in Libra right now. Mercury's ruling Virgo. Virgo is like the inner child of the Empress, which is Venus energy. Now when I'm recording this, we're still in Virgo. But before October, it's going to switch to Libra. And I kind of feel like this is saying, when I was younger, I thought everything was going to work out great, but I'm struggling right now because I feel like I'm losing ground and it's not fair. Like the world is ripped out from under me. I thought I did everything that I was supposed to do to manifest, and it's not fair that I can't figure out what I'm doing. So I have the moon here, like I said, that darkness energy kind of pulling you in to deal with what's out of balance in life. And then the calendar, which again is giving me this idea of like it's going to take another month here, or like this is what's happening this month. But also gives me this idea of at the end of the year with this Christmas energy dealing with the sun in Capricorn. I also have the headphones, right? I'm trying to hear something. I'm trying to pick up this signal. But I have the top hat, which tells me that it's actually telling me like crown energy. Like I feel like it's sort of representative of the blowhole on the dolphin. Like I'm trying to open up my crown, but when I try to pop open my crown, it's just creating this hat on top of my head, and it's not like there's no excess energy coming out. So this shield here, it's like I feel out of balance. I want to be protected, but I don't know what I'm doing. I have all these friggin' charms going the other way. So I have the stick of fork in me, I'm done. This is actually like a 10 of swords energy, which is present over here. I have this trash bin. Waste paper basket. I have the pants. I have the tetrahedron. I have the icosahedron. Expansion. I have the champagne glasses here, which is kind of like 2 of cups. I have the blood coming out of the finger. And I have this record player. Now what's interesting is that the record player is going the like inverted, but the headphones are upright. It's like I'm ready to plug in, but I can't get the message. But I also get this idea of like I need to throw these pants out and put on my fat pants. Because I'm like expanding from overindulging. But it's like I want to get rid of all this old energy where like it's like I can't get a leg up on life, and everything seems to be a party that I'm not invited to. You know, where it's like everything I try to do ends up overkill, and people seem to bleed me dry while they're having a good time, and I'm over here, you know, like I'm getting pantsed every time I try to expand my horizons, and I just want to give up and throw out the whole deal and start over, kind of. I think that's what I'm getting from all this giant cacophony of charms. It's like I can't figure out what the message is in all this noise. I'm trying to shield the tower so that the message comes in clearer, but it's all muffled because I've got something jammed in over my crown chakra. So what is the distortion here? Let's see what these challenges are in the mid energy range. Okay. So here's the 9 of Pentacles. I feel like I already talked about 9 of Pentacles energy, and I don't know how. Maybe I didn't. But there's the 10 there. I think I was saying I have to do it all by myself over here, but I don't know why. Oh, okay, because 18 broke down to 9. Okay, so this is similar. Like, I'm having a hard time with the real T over here. And 6 of Pentacles in a challenge position. It's like I'm having a hard time making something for myself. I see 69, that tells me Cancerian energy, emotions. I'm having a hard time building up my own garden because I don't know when to stop giving to people when I feel like they're demanding or in need of me. 15, devil energy. Capricorn, being bound. And the other thing here is another 9. So we're getting the 9 of Wands. Like, why is this taking so long? Like, I'm really just trying to grow this little thing for myself with this energy and get my third eye open, and I don't know when to hold or when to fold here. Like, where does my energy begin and end so that I know how to protect myself, how to save some for me. So I have 18, the moon again, breaking down to 9, and then 6 is 15, is devil energy. Capricorn energy. Alright, so not only do I have the glove over here, but now I have the mittens. Right, I want to feel protected from having all the energy sucked out of me until I'm ice cold. Alright, so I have the duck here. I have a flask. Science, bitches. I have tape. I'm trying to fix something. Duct tape! Oh, that's hilarious. I got duct tape. Okay, so I have a bunch of charms in the reverse. So I have the school books. I have this wolf, but it's sort of coyote, actually. I have a podium. It's like another lecture. And now I have the hat. Like, it sort of goes with the mittens, but it was going the other way. And then I have a pigeon, which is trash chicken, or a message, or like a turtle dove kind of a thing. With these charms that were in reverse, I get this idea of I'm not going to have the wool pulled over my eyes by this message that you're trying to present to me in a fancy way as if it were true knowledge when you're just messing with me. Like, I'm gonna tape up my Why am I? Okay. It's like I'm going to carefully handle these explosive new ingredients and put myself back together with some duct tape. Duct tape. Duct tape. It's really funny. So there's this moon energy here with this idea of I need balance and healing, with this other moon energy down here of I thought I was doing it right, but now it's not fair. It's like, well, the reason it's not fair is because you lit into the hype that you had to do all this stuff, but you don't. You know, what do you want with 10 of Pentacles if it's not even your own stuff? When you could have 9 and feel like, you know, like it's something that's for you. And I also see this 9, 10, 11 progression here. Right, we're trying to get to an ascension in the emotional content. 8, 9, 10, 11. 6. The only thing that's missing is 7, but there's a 7 right here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Trying to ramp up. Like, I feel like I want to go faster. Okay. I need to find a solution. Alright, so we're gonna get into this thought process here. I need some more water. Apologize to my fellow Capricorns for yawning during the reading. I knew I was tired, but I guess I kicked my ass a little bit more yesterday than I thought. Alright, so thought process. We have 55, Taming the Wind. So I think this is about co-creation with the universe, but I'm going to double check that. But I see 5 and 5. I see the Hierophant energy twice, which is double Venus. But I also see it as this dichotomy of, in order to get to the Hierophant number of that sort of spiritual download energy, the feminine energy combines the High Priestess and the Empress together to get the 5. And the masculine energy combines the Magician and the Emperor together to get the 5. So when they come together, 5 and 5, with this sort of really powerful, magical, masculine and feminine archetypal energies, they join up to become 10, which is a completion, but also reduces back down to the idea of the singularity, the 1 or the 0 in the new beginning, or the union of opposites. I am going to skim this, but this does have to do with co-creation, I'm pretty sure. Before I get to the charms that came on it. 55. Shitty Schwo. 55. Shitty Schwo. Feather, a symbol that's used in clearing ceremonies. The sacred commitment you make to your life. Consciously bringing the spiritual into the material. Infusing the world with reverence and an acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. Right, so that the idea of co-creating and being with the spiritual is like the Empress is sort of a material archetype. But when you combine her with the High Priestess, who's the spiritual mode, she gets the 5. The same thing with the Emperor being this sort of material archetype, combining it with the mystical magician, the spiritual part of the masculine energy, he gets to the 5 as well. Right, it says it's time to clear your energy, be present, and become conscious of how you communicate. Right here in this communication column. It's a good time to write in a journal and put your thoughts into a cohesive form. Perhaps smudging or whatever. Creating a sacred space. Okay. So it's this idea of having reverence and respect for the spiritual aspect of the universe, which is this idea of helping you gain access to the council and this creative force. So the t-shirt here, and the only thing I can think of is that oh, I just heard blank slate. But I'm currently wearing a shirt that I designed. I'm just going to move the camera for a second so you can... My shirt. It was one of my drawings. And it just... From my cafe press. I just make sure this is still in focus. So this idea of, like, you're the one who designs what goes on this blank slate of the universe that you sort of clothe yourself with. Now, going the other way, opposite, I have a white flag and I have this elephant. The elephant to me represents, like in the God damn it. The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, elephant has to do with higher consciousness and getting this energy from the base of the spine all the way up into the brain, which is kind of how the elephant's head is shaped, with the nervous system coming up the spine and then the lobes of the brain with the ears. But I also have the white flag here, so it's sort of like what am I giving up on? It's kind of like I give up trying to control how I'm accessing my spirituality. Right? I have to do all this. I'm in control. I do all the work in the material world. But it's almost like the way to access the spiritual world is to give up that mental control over everything around you and let your mind become a blank slate, and the reality will start to sort of magically form on it. It sort of like wrap itself around you. So, oh my god, look at all this shit on here. 20 charms. So the way this is coming in the 3D, the 4 of air. Okay, so this is actually good. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So it's like, okay, I'm getting the message, and I'm gonna at least try to simmer down and not have too many mind, which is probably why there's all these charms, right? I'm trying to meditate, but I'm having a hard time just chilling out and letting it come in because of all this noise in my head. Okay, so I have a bone. This was going the other way. I'm gonna leave it. I have a castle, which does have a little flag in the top. I have an egg. I have a chicken, which is actually a rooster. I have the boombox. And the narwhal. And the trowel, which is like my alternate ace of swords. We need to go deeper. A spade. And I have this water droplet, emotional content. And now I have a different hat. I have a cowboy hat. I'm like, okay, well, let me try to open up my crown chakra by blowing it open again but now I still have a hat on my head. Like, dang it. I can't, like, it's sort of like getting emotionally upset because you can't, like, knock you can't throw open your crown chakra. And I was thinking this idea of, like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And I just keep hearing, like, Bone Castle. I get this idea of, like, I'm trapped in my own head. A very material thing. Or, like, I'm thinking about my old foundations and I want to hatch something new, but I don't know which thing goes first. Like, I need... Oh, the narwhal is giving me emotional content, but also, like, a radio signal. Like, I need to go deeper to ground to get to the truth. I'm still trying to tune into which station is the right thing. It's like, for example, like, I hate country music. I don't want to listen to this song. I'm trying to turn it to something else. So I have a bunch of charms that are opposite way. So I have the door. I have a ruler. Right, it's like who guards the gateway to the spirit world. So I have a fox. There's a fox. There's the door. There's the ruler. I have the Kama Sutra, which is the other book that I have. Right, so it's like a different book. But both of the books were going opposite way. And I have a squirrel. I have the chalet, which is like a small foundation. I have a watch. And I have this heart. So not only did the water come out, but the heart in this. So all this stuff that's reverse. Right, old foundation. What does all this mean besides just noise? Fox and squirrel. See, the Kama Sutra and the heart feel like they go together. The door and the chalet, and the ruler and the ta. Okay. So I see the fox and the squirrel as giving me this sort of orange fall time of year color, which is October. And I see this as going, the chalet with the door as perhaps like a shrine. But I also see the ruler and the watch as being like a measurement of time or some kind of a stopwatch. And this Kama Sutra with the heart is like this idea that love is measured in like how much action you can get. You know, like what have you done for me lately? And if you're not going to give me this foundation that I want, I'm going to walk out the door. So I feel like this energy that's in reverse is a lot of stuff that Capricorn is thinking about in this terms of meditation of, like, I'm trying to think about the past, I'm trying to dig deeper and get into this, like, spiritual energy, but I'm struggling because, you know, people only ever loved me for what I could do for them in the physical world. And if I'm just sitting here with the radio signal up my ass, like, are people going to get mad at me and tell me I'm not doing anything? Am I going to get yelled at for sitting quietly and having a think? You know, people don't get mad at me if I'm constantly busy and don't have time to meet their need because I'm doing the other 5 things. You know, it's this massive, like, massive collection of swirling thought energy that makes it harder to get in touch with this spiritual energy. But let's see what this middle of the way blockage is about. Choice. So I did say 0 point. So we have this triptych door here. We have the dark and the light. We have a sword of truth. We have this kundalini snake here. We have this wands idea. I see an apple here, and that tells me pentagonal symmetry, because when you cut it in half, the seeds are arranged in a 5-pointed star. So it does give me that Capricorn energy, as well as because there's a tree here, which goes back to this one over here. Right? I need to decide which door I'm going through. What is my pathway? Okay, so this came in reverse. This is the scribe, which is where normally the Knight of Swords would be. So this tells me the Hanged Man with air energy. What's the Knight of Swords? Taurus and Gemini energy. So Mercury and Venus, which is happening in Libra, which is an air sign. So we have this idea of, like, 4 of air is a lot like the Hanged Man. So we're getting a lower vibration of this. I need to restart. I need to jack into the spiritual thing and have some downloads. I need to... It's like with the idea that there's 2 piles of books came out. Like, I need to... Like, Capricorn might need to write down their thoughts or draw it out in some way. You might need to have some kind of physical representation of the downloads that you're getting, whether you write it in writing, whether you draw it in a drawing, whether you write it in music, especially with this boombox and the headphones, you know, whether you act it out in interpretive dance, because it's like the way for Capricorn to anchor the download is to manifest it in some way. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles here, which came in inverted as well. This is kind of like similar to the Maiden energy in the Dreams of Gaia, which is like a youthful version of the High Priestess, but it could also be Virgo energy. Let me see what the 2 of Pentacles energy actually is Jupiter and Capricorn, which is kind of where we are right now. And notice that the egg came out over here, and we have a 0, and now we have a bunch of eggs that this feminine energy is juggling. Right? So it's like I can't quite jack into the frequency. I'm really trying. I want balance 14. I want to turn the wheel and hit the jackpot and get the information. And I'm having a little bit of trouble, right? It's like I want to manifest. I don't know. So this 2 of Pentacles choice, this is also choice. I'm going to make a choice. I don't know what choice to make. I'm going to hang out here on the upside down on the tree for a minute. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to take a nap. Alright, so there's all kinds of fucking shit over here. So I have the lilies. It's like the structure of the universe. I'm trying to expand my knowledge of the nature of things. The reading glasses for all those books that keep popping up. I need help seeing the details. I have... Oh, interesting. So I have this club here, which is like my Ace of Wands. Right, I'm trying to get into the core nature. And I have the rose here. And I get this idea of like a rose with thorns, right? It's like I need the light and the dark. I need the pain and the pleasure. I need the beauty and the hostility to have movement in my life. So I have a bunch of charms that are going the other way. So I have a telephone. I have the DNA ladder, double helix. I have the electric guitar. And I have this thing that's kind of like the Six of Pentacles, just sort of a charitable giving kind of a thing. Now the 6 came out over here in a challenge position, if I could talk. That's this idea of like, I don't know when to stop giving to people, right? So this is, I'm not going to just give and give and give until I have nothing left. You know, like I feel worn out. I feel like my structure is coming apart. Like, stop calling me. Like, I don't, like, the day the music died kind of energy. Now, what's interesting is that I said, in order to anger this energy, Capricorn can, could write music or something like that. Now, what's interesting is that all these charms, if they came out upright, would make sense too. But I do get the idea that this whole thing of jacking into the spiritual nature is like a DNA upgrade for Capricorn as well. When you change the nature of your thinking, it has an effect on the very cells of your body, and that's why this rest needs to happen. I feel like there's more there, but I don't know. But there's, again, the thoughts are well scrambled. The charms just kept falling out of this whole situation. And then I get a sip of water, and then I'm going to get into the manifestation part of this. Okay. The microphone, too. Fire in a challenge position. 19, which is actually the sun number. I have not gotten this card yet, I think. I've gotten water. It's fire. Definitely Leo energy. Potentially Sagittarius and Aries as well, which have all appeared in the reading. Oh, I just heard I'm your Venus, I'm your fire. It's your desire. Venus and Leo energy. What am I at? 19. Fire consumes anything that it touches. The flames remind us of the impermanent nature of reality and how situations can quickly transform into beauty or chaos, which is what was going on over here. Fire and beauty and destruction, beauty and chaos. And also over here in the heart of the sky. Fire is passion, its dancing flames invite us to reach to the sky. Warmth and light are heavenly, yet too much heat can scorch us. Right? Capricorn always in overdrive, getting burnt out. To fully step into the energy of fire is to be utterly transformed like the phoenix rising from the ashes, which is what's trying to happen over here on this 4 of air with the chicken and the egg. Has life become too rigid, too cold, or too superficial? Light a candle or make a bonfire and toss into the flames everything that has become stiff and painful. Give it all to the fire for rapid transformation. Set your life on fire. Have you been reactive and short-tempered towards others? All fiery emotions directed at others can backfire at you. It's not a good idea to play with fire when you're out of balance or angry. It's not the time to act or react. It's a time to tame and befriend your inner fire so it does not scorch you. So I get this idea that the manifestation is that Capricorn is sort of angry at the position of being like a heat source for everyone else while feeling completely drained and cold. And did the penguin come out in here? I saw the penguin, but I don't think it came out. But here it's like the manifestation directive coming down is to temper the fire, to have it balance between, you know, what you radiate out and what you heat your own essence with. So the charms that I have that are reversed, I have the stop sign, I have the peace sign, and I have the Polaroid. Right, so it's like looking back on where I've just been, I need to stop trying to make everyone else feel good and happy, and I need to speak up for myself. The microphone. Alright, so let's see how this is coming down in the 3D. Because we have a challenge position here as well. The Hermit, number 9, Archangel Ratziel. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery, okay? So, I'm in mental rest, attempting meditation, and in the physical world, I'm trying really hard to meditate and go within, but I'm still not quite getting it. Now, what's interesting is that the difference between the 9 and the 19 here is 10, which is completion, which is this taming the wind over here, right? If the wind is untamed, the fire is going to burn out of control, which is kind of interesting as well. And I see a 5 here, and the difference between the 6 and the difference between the 11 and the 6 is a 5. 11, 10. Okay. Right, so, like, what's not being completed in terms of the inner fire? Well, the Hermit has a lantern with fire in it, but it's an internal fire. Oh, there's the penguin. I didn't see it. Here's the octahedron. I think that represents air. But it's also the number 8, which is this strength and justice over here, right? I'm trying to deal with this somehow. This is the penguin, that idea of being out in the cold and the internal fire again. And here's Jupiter. So this is the 10, the wheel. The Sagittarius energy. The fire that's going out, I'm sending outwards to other people constantly. What I want to do is be in like a sun energy so that I can keep some of that for myself and let radiate outwards, and people can sort of gather the neutrinos as without siphoning the life out of me. I have a bunch of charms reversed here. So I have the Earth, I have the match burning, which is like another Ace of Wands kind of energy. I have this butterfly, which is sort of a transformation energy. I have the rainbow. And I have the teacup. So what do these all have in common? A tempest in a teacup. The butterfly flaps its wing, causes a tsunami on the other side of the world. But when the sun comes out, this heat energy, the Wands energy, on this water, this huge mass of water, there's in the rainbow. But these were all going the opposite way. And it's kind of like I don't want to have to constantly burn out or have a rage-gasm and then kind of put glitter on it afterwards. I want to be able to break out of this mental prison where I'm constantly over-giving to other people until I feel cold and dead inside. And I'm bleeding out like the red spot on Jupiter. So it's about energy conservation, and then we see perhaps endangered species conservation kind of energy. So let's look at this oracle card for this spread. Now, I had this here, and I was talking about turning over a new leaf here, and I saw this high-heeled shoe on the oracle card, and I was thinking of that Paolo Nutini song, New Shoes, where it's like, I'm gonna put some new shoes on, and I don't remember the rest of it. Now, with these charms upright, I have this Sagittarian arrow, which is another Ace of Wands energy, potentially, with the fire hydrant, which is again that like overdrive, overburn. I'm gonna like rage-gasm and then have to put the fire out. And also honey badger, which will fuck you up if you bite him in the face. But also honey badger doesn't give a shit. But I think Capricorn does. Right? You don't want to just go through life like surviving and just doing all the things all the time. But I also have this kawaii face here. Right? I might be really pissed off at you for having to do all this work, but I'm gonna be like, oh, it's fine, I'm good. I'm totally cool. Well, inside you're like this like 9-alarm fire over here, like, fuck. Interesting. I'm gonna save the two charms that were inverted until after I see this. So we have 11 inverted. A blessing on the children. So this inversion just tells me there's a delay or a confusion, which we see here, right? There's maybe a delay for a couple months, but also this confusion. I'm having a hard time hearing the 11 message, but this 11 is present here with the council. I see 13s here, transformation, and I see 10s and 11s as well. But the children is somewhat this idea of I'm making something new, right? It's an egg, it's gonna hatch, it's gonna be a little baby thing. I see this moon energy back here. I see the butterflies transformation, which came out. I see these flowers here, which make me think of this guy here trying to manifest his own energy. Little flowers. And the unicorn has to do with like the third eye opening. I'm just beginning, like I'm a novice at trying to jack into this council energy. I'm still nurturing it. I need to mother myself with this high priestess and empress energy. It could also have to do with healing your own inner child wounds. Now, I did mention Virgo as being the inner child of the Empress, but it doesn't have to be gender specific. You know, it's like I was taught that I'm not worthy of love unless I'm constantly doing work, and I'm having a hard time loving myself if I just sit and jack into the universe and get those downloads. But I'm trying really hard to nurture that and let it be safe and okay. I'm trying to transform myself. Now, going the other way, I had the pig and these shorts. I get the idea of like, I'm just a little kid, I'm still in short pants. Which is interesting because I thought the pants, yeah, the actual pants came out over here. Like the pants. And with the pig, I got the idea of digging for truffles. Like, I'm gonna find something down in here. Which is interesting because mushrooms can give you that link to the mystical world as well. But, you know, people need to be careful with that, and I'm not going to reprimand or condone the use of psychedelic agents. Although, I mean, to be fair, looking at psychedelic artwork and listening to psychedelic music is roughly equivalent to actually taking drugs. So I can't listen to the music and make the art and then tell people they should be careful about taking drugs. But you should, just because you don't know if you're going to have a reaction to it. But there's this idea of I need to dig deeper. There's something in there that's important. And I have the ability to grow if I just nurture myself a little bit, but I'm still kind of, it's not like resistant to it, it's just Capricorn is like, I don't know how to do it because it's not in my material world wheelhouse. Oh, and I didn't even look at I forgot to look at the link here, and I went straight to the Oracle. My bad. I missed a pile. I missed the link between these two. So between the Hermit and the Fire, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. Work. 4 of Wands. Foundation. And 11, healing. 8 and 4 is 12. That's Hangman energy. And then 11. So these, what's happening in this physical realm is actually really good. It's like balance of the fire, figure it out, and now we have fire and this physical manifestation, and this guy who's like a cross between the Magician and the Hermit. So the charms that go with that is this Venus and Capricorn duality symbol. So Venus and the Sun, and then we are dealing with Capricorn energy, or Venus and Leo. Okay, so this is the phone, text messaging, right? It's like I don't need to keep checking in with everybody else. I'm going to go within to get the healing. I need to disconnect from the daily grind. And now I have the scroll here, right? I'm getting information, ancient wisdom, like it's coming out of the crystals, like a data download. It's like this gecko, it's like I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna stick with this process. I'm gonna really try. I'm gonna hold on to the information. And at this paper crane, I hear, like, this time I feel it's kind of like a paper airplane. The paper has been folded up and thrown at you so that you can unfold it and read it. But here it's coming in more of a natural way, right? It's coming in as a bird instead of a mechanical airplane. Right, I'm going to like unfold and recombine this information so I can gain wisdom and healing. Alright, so that goes into what's happening between the Fire and the Hermit. It's like your higher self is like jacked and ready to go, but your physical self is like, I'm tired. How do I do this? I'm upset that I did that backwards, but maybe that's part of the issue, is it takes a little bit longer when you do things out of order. But maybe in the long run, there's a reason for it and it'll make sense later. Alright, so that's... I drained the battery too. If you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. Full list of readings and how much they cost is in the description box of my infomercial video, and I'll put that link below in the Patreon description. If you want to continue to donate, you can always level up, and if that's available still, on Patreon, or you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. I've got merch and prints and coloring books and a poetry book, and I've got actual art items here, like in my catalog. And you can check that out. I've got the link here in the post somewhere on Patreon as well, so you can check that all out. If you're not already over in my regular YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out the playlists tab, the discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.